This is Law of Attraction Explored. I'm Tim Grimes. If you'd like a free guide that explains the hidden link between relaxation and the law of attraction, or if you want more information about my books or my coaching, you can visit radicalcounselor.com. Enjoy the episode. So this will be a meditational episode. We speak about so many different approaches on this podcast, so many different ways to utilize techniques involving the law of attraction. Often I'm asked the question, what do I do? And the short answer is that I do a lot of the things I talk about. And at the same time, as many of you have already gleaned, what I make a habitual practice, a daily practice of doing, is becoming still within myself. Basically what I describe as vibing out in my book, The Joy of Not Thinking, the last chapter of that book. That's what I do every day. And then I augment that with different things that I speak about in the show. Things like affirmations, perhaps visualization sometimes, perhaps even something like active affirming. They also do my best to tap into this deep feeling throughout my day. So if you were to ask me what do I do in terms of my law of attraction practice, in terms of utilizing and actualizing these principles, I would basically say that I vibe out. But I don't just vibe out in the morning or in the evening. I also vibe out internally whenever I can. And I do that because I like it. It doesn't feel forced to me. And this is very similar, or maybe even the exact same thing, as what this show is always talking about. What Emmett Fox referred to as the golden key. Don't think on your problem, but think on God instead. When I vibe out, the way I do it, and the exact words I use to describe it don't matter, but what I'm doing is touching God. Thinking on God. Joseph Murphy referred to this as the absolute method. And I think other older teachers refer to it using that same term as well. I love that term. The absolute method. Think on the absolute instead of anything else. And as we've gone over, in my opinion, no law of attraction teacher articulates this as clearly and consistently and as spiritually as Emilie, Cady. If you want to learn about the golden key or the absolute method or just about vibing out from a manifesting perspective, I highly recommend Emilie, Cady. So today I thought I would read something from her essay, Finding the Secret Place. And again, you don't have to listen to the exact words she's saying. It's not about that. Emilie, Cady, in my opinion, is the greatest spiritual law of attraction teacher. So it's not about the words she's using, it's what's beyond the words. Listen to what she says here. The Lord is the Lord within our own being. The Lord is the Christ of our own being. There is one Spirit, one Father of all, in us all, but who manifests uniquely in each of us. Your Lord is He who will deliver you out of all your troubles. Your Lord has no other business but to manifest Himself to you and through you, and so make you mighty with His own mightiness made visible, whole with His health, perfect by showing forth the Christ perfection. Standing in the place of intellect or conscious mind, we thus look to Spirit. Spirit flows in and illumines intellect, making it see its oneness with Spirit. And then we, conscious mind, stand at the center, and looking from within outward say, the Father and I are one. Let all your hope be from your Lord. Let your communion be with him. Wait upon the inner abiding Christ often, just as you would wait upon any visible teacher. When you are sick, wait thou only upon God, as the Most High, rather than upon healers. When you lack wisdom in small or large matters, wait thou only upon God, and see what marvelous wisdom for action will be given you. When desiring to speak word that will deliver another from the bondage of sickness or sin or sorrow, wait thou only upon God, and exactly the right word will be given you, and power will go with it, for it will be alive with the power of Spirit. That's a concise explanation of the absolute method, of the golden key, as is pretty much all of Emilie Cady's work. A concise explanation of waiting upon God as the Most High. That's not to say that if you're sick that you shouldn't take a medicine, or that if you're waiting on someone you shouldn't give them a call. You can still take normal day-to-day actions, but deep down, you wait upon God. That's your real action. That's your deepest action. So when people ask me what I do in regards to implementing these principles in my life, I may tell them that I do several things, but all that I'm really doing, my continual focus, is waiting upon God. And I think that's the focus of many, many people who have gotten into these principles over the years, especially if you get into New Thought teachings and explore them and try to live them. And again, it's something that Emmett Fox and Joseph Murphy often talked about as well. And obviously, as you know, you don't have to take this spiritual of an approach towards the subject. But the spiritual approach for many of us is going to be incredibly freeing, because this radical reliance on God, as Emilie Cady explains it, just feels very right and very true for many of us. So I'm not trying to convince you to utilize this approach, but I wanted to tell you that that's what I do as a daily practice. And I hope that you do whatever you want to do, whatever feels right and that you like to do, in order to best align with these principles for yourself and for others. Be well.